Tiamat dead, and there's always who knows how long it will be before there's another Tatsuya who comes
Hold on a
along
second.
and
Okay,
unseals
never
the
mind.
dragons again. We
Sorry,
can destroy Tiamat here and now. Why pass the buck?
We don't know what will happen when Tiamat dies. I have concerns about that metaphysical event. There is also the other option that had been broached with Thandros of trying to come to some sort of accord with a subset of the dragons while sealing others of some of their siblings, and then using them and methods of hiding the scales for those sealed to attempt to prevent this from being a thing that could happen again.
Coexist with the children of Tiamat?
Oh, one, maybe two.
A subset of them.
Alright. Coexist with some of the children of Tiamat. He puts a hand up for stalling further interruption. I mean, humanity survived with all of them up. Not well, but we did, so that would be a significant improvement over that time. Probably not as good as we've had it for the last 1,000 years, but I'd certainly be more willing to offer you my spiritual support, as I have nothing tangible to give you besides the page that Kazanari has already handed off. For that, then, look. He kind of, waves his hand in front of his face. You guys are the most powerful group of fighters this world has known in an era, an age, eons. I don't know. I haven't heard stories like yours, since those told to me of Shagazir and his group. So that's kind of where I'm lumping you. Sorry. Point is, I can't tell you what to do. You're going to make your choice. You're going to do what you think is best. But I do want you to know that I, personally, don't want you to raise Tiamat. That's risky. I've devoted my whole life to preventing that from happening. But I can't stop you from doing it, and I can't stop you from succeeding or failing if that is what you're going to do. I just hope that whatever you do, you succeed. And I want to give you the best chance of that I can. I've told you about the army of the Four Queens. I've given you the scale. Kazanari took these notes, and boy were they an eye-opener. It makes, as I said before, a sort of sense. The Sentinels of old knew that the only thing protecting them, keeping this from happening, was smoke and shadow. So they found ways to inveigle as much as they could. Anyway, whatever you're going to do, just let us know how we can make sure this world doesn't die.
That's certainly a situation that none of us want. I turn to everyone else. I also agree, though, that Tiamat is an extremely risky gamble. One for the fact of actually the possibility of defeating her is risky enough. And then the unknown of what will happen is, if we succeed, is concerning to me. I think that if we are able to get the input from those in power, possibly starting with the Empire, the Four Queens, if they have an army that's mobilizing, and convince them if we can all agree on some kinds of terms to be able to present to at least one of the dragons, if we can get the other countries that still have armies that could side with this one to not, then their attempts to fight Tiamat would be stymied, giving us the time to have that negotiation. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. I was interrupting you. Kazunari chimes in and says, I mean, you're looking for armies, why not just get Bromdor to do something useful for once?
Hey there. Not much of an army left there.
Oh. Did they finally bite off more than they could chew?
Well, their leader was murdered, and then they had their army sent off to fight wars all over the place by the guy who pretended to be him.
I mean, that likely would have happened without him having been murdered. He was not a
Yeah, he was pretty doing that himself pretty much anyway. But
it was expedited after his murder.
Bromdor does not have much of an army remaining at the moment.
I hadn't expected to be right. Sir, maybe there is one more thing we can do to help them. And again, Dusty turns toward her, trying to read her expression, and finally says, "Oh, you're not thinking." She's like, "The Tritons should not be overlooked, and they've got as much stake in this as we do. And they know us, Look, I'm still not condoning bringing out Tiamat. But if you're going to do something foolish, we might be able to improve your odds."
It's like improved odds?
Why are you encouraging this, Kazunari? Like you said, sir, you can't stop them. We can only advise them. So, as Dusty said, try not to, but if you find it's your only way to save the world, we can help you with that. I'm sorry, am I boring you?
No, not at all.
Anyway, we've given you the information we have. And then some. Kazunari and I will remain in the area so that we can act upon desires, should that become necessary.
Thank you for all of your advising.
Once we have fully come to our decision, I'll make sure to let you know.
Alright. Well then, good luck with them. And, yeah, you know how to contact us. He's going to, move back on the boat and rise and grab at his collar and flip a hood over his head. You notice that he is wearing a black-colored cloak, and the hood has two little dangly bits at the front that kind of flop vertical, almost like little rabbit's ears. Says, yeah. Good luck to you, before he dives over the side of the ship and into the water.
Also dramatic, that one.
I think that he's feeling his age. And he doesn't like it. Anyway, sorry to put all of this on you. He shouldn't have compared you to Shagrazir's party. That was an unfair burden.
Oh, we're deep in it now already anyway.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for the information that you've been able to give us, and I hope to be in contact soon.
She nods and returns her gaze to Lee and says, I hope you can forgive us for failing in our duty.
You not failed when you helped us.
If we hadn't failed, Jasharan wouldn't have been able to attack Tuka. In any event, we'll be nearby. Hopefully avoiding that Kraken. It seems to have left the area. I'll speak with the Tritons, prep them in case your call comes. Farewell to you, all of you.
Wait, have we been told how to contact them?
I can send.
Yeah, but do you need to know who you're sending to?
To her?
Okay,
Not,
that makes sense.
Yeah, they had said that they were staying in the area, waiting for what we were going to tell them.
Yuki! Is he there?
is Malachi asleep again?
No? He's there.
I'm on the verge. It's been a tiring day. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, alright. I was just wondering if you... I wanted to make sure you had a chance to say anything or ask any questions you had given the goings-on.
No.
Okay.
I'm not feeling super inquisitive right now, but I have been listening.
Okay. Alright, so, the Platinum Sentinels have dived into the water with their weird-looking cloaks that match. You have the scale of Elsamenth and a page of Kazanari's notes translating a very old text that describes the ritual and the supposed path of the dragon's souls after death. You do find yourself wondering where the person that wrote the original got the information, or if it was part of the design of the spell.
Regardless, the person's probably long dead now anyway. Clearly I was not alone in Twitch chat.
for Kazanari's name.
Sorry, it's Kazanari. Kazanari.
Yeah, okay, so I spelled it right at least, but
Yeah.
for a long, like, ever since the character was first introduced, I thought it was cousin Ari, so I thought it was someone related to Laramandas or something. He has a lot of cousins.
I do. Some of them are Dragonborn.
That's fair. I mean, the first time you heard the name, it was Dusty shouting it through the door of the room. He was alone in the office with you, and then he just shouts, Kazanari!
Dusty might have a bunch of cousins too. You
He
don't know.
might.
Dusty could be my cousin. You don't know.
Yeah.
He's not. You do know, but
And it's just help separate from the other Ari that also works there.
Anyway, when our two Dragonborn decided that their names would be Japanese-inspired, that made it so that the whole of Dragonborn culture is such. So, if it sounds odd, it's probably a Japanese-inspired name. Okay, so, You're alone. At this point, Dale has finished his ritual, and you see him talking with a sprite. Not unlike Lorelei, a ways down the pier from you. He doesn't seem like he's waiting to talk to you at all, so you are free to discuss and do as you please for the moment.
Point at the sprite and said to Lorelei, "Do you know them?"
She, looks over, you kind of moving her head back and forth, and then, shields her eyes with her hand and squints and says, maybe?
Sorry, it's not to assume that every sprite know each other, but, also being followers of Zintharamil, it's...
Well, not all the sprites who are summoned by this were sprites to begin with. Sometimes it's a fey spirit that's been given this form while they're here on the material plane. I was a sprite beforehand. This is my body. But
That's good to know, so I'm not forcing you to be something you don't want to be.
I never really thought about it, but it's good to hear it. I like this body.
Yeah. I like it too. Sits you.
She kind of, blushes a little bit and turns away, adjusting her sword belt. Thanks.
Yeah. This got a little bit awkward.
Oh, I can make it more awkward.
I think you look good too, Lorelei.
I am glad I didn't have to make it more awkward myself. She blushes much more deeply. And turns a little bit further away, adjusting the rest of her clothing a bit more. Says, that's very good to hear. I'm gonna be over here, though.
Yeah.
Does she also turn invisible?
That was odd.
Oh my god, she can! Ha-ha! As she is, fluttering away, she just... There's a bit of shimmer in the air and she's gone.
Hope combat doesn't break out. That tends to end in fiery death by accident.
Wouldn't be the first time.
That's why I said tends to end in.
You weren't here for the session, but she did get struck by the Kraken that way as well.
Given that...
Raiken did actually target her, though.
Yeah, no, the Kraken didn't target her. It was just... She
No,
was
it did
just in the way.
target her.
Oh, it did target her, okay.
Yeah, the lightning has to be
specifically.
targeted. Kraken was a bastard.
There was something that killed her when she wasn't targeted.
Oh, yeah, that was Jebel.
Yeah,
that was
Jebel walked
Jebel.
through her as a fire elemental.
Like I said, invisibility in combat means crispy Lorelei.
Yeah.
Needs to just start flying a lot higher.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that she needs to be within reach from Eve to be useful.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, yeah.
Not to force any interactions, but given that the party's attention is momentarily not being pulled by important goings-on, Cyrus might be a good time to get your questions answered.
I'm not sure what questions I have. I have a general idea of why we're here
Uh-huh.
and what we're doing.
Would you like a more specific idea? Because
Yeah,
that sounds like a reasonable
clarify
question.
that. So, is the current plan? Let's start with that.
I think the current plan is to discuss what our plan will be.
Fine.
Between the options of attempt to go on our own to seal the dragons and hide things, which seems like it's not the plan that we had wanted before. We do have more information at this point to aid the army in their endeavor, or this other option of seeing if we can strike some kind of deal with some subset of the children of Tiamat and not deal with Tiamat.
Alright. Have there been any vocal opinions on this topic yet?
My opinion is that we should negotiate.
I don't want to get too far into that conversation because that's going to take more than 15 minutes.
I like to think that the 15 minutes thing was also in character, and that Cyrus has some knowledge of the fourth wall that just like through in unknown ways.
He doesn't notice from the curse. Yeah. So, do we have anything else that we need to do here, or does that occur after the conversation about what we're doing?
I think that has to do with that. That is the result of the conversation about what we're doing.
Okay. Is everyone okay?
Other people might have other opinions.
There was something about fighting warlocks and a kraken. Is everyone okay? Need patching up at all?
Oh, we were hurt. Raiken almost died. I think he groped himself to get his health back, but
You what?
you know how he does it.
I put my hand on my armor. I use lay on hands.
Got it. Okay, and so what was this about warlocks while the army fought a kraken?
That's how I almost
when,
died.
It was a bunch of Zephyr warlocks.
Yeah.
When we teleported here, we teleported via a demi-plane shift. We appeared about 500 feet in that direction. I point in the direction.
So that does work. Good to know.
Yes. We did this on top of where a kraken was rising to the surface, having said something about that implied some kind of being sealed alongside Alcimanthe, or maybe being forced to guard Alcimanthe, or something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure what the story of that kraken is. I would love to know the story of that kraken. Maybe the Tritons know, but I'm getting distracted.
Tritons?
The Tritons that Kazanari and Dusty had spoken of.
Right.
Maybe I will try and talk with them another time. But we came to the shore, thus leading the Kraken here. Surrendered ourselves into Tatsuya's custody so that we could attempt to speak with him, since he was not in a particularly trusting mood. We were being watched by guards of by members of the army here, all of whom turned out to be warlocks in the service of Zephyr. We were able to prevent two of them from being taken away by some odd magic, since they were in a force cage, which was a lovely little trick that I'm glad they couldn't do anything about. Larmendus does seem proud of himself when he says that. They had given us some information about some of Zephyr's intentions. One of them has decided to try his hand at swimming to get away from here, and the other one was him. I point at the spot where our warlock friend had been, because he's not there anymore, right?
No, he's still there. He's just not
Oh.
engaging with you. He's speaking at length with this sprite of his.
Okay. So one of them had been him, who is now in service to Zintharamil over his previous patron. As we were collecting ourselves after a discussion with Evendar's brother, you decided to appear. Blarmendus looks a little sick when he says that.
There was no decision about it. 1 second I was here, 1 second I wasn't. Or was. Whatever.
I believe in the city you missed the resulting endeavor about the mass dispel magics and that organization that had happened.
How did the extra cleric help?
The extra cleric.
It helped.
All of the clerics were beneficial. So I assume an extra one is also beneficial.
There's an extra 2.
Oh, right, 2. Extra
Twinned it.
That's right, I forgot I did that.
Was it was the university that sent mages, or was it the guild? Or
It was
both?
the university.
University,
Via the guild was the one that tapped them for it.
That called them in. Okay, yeah. One of the clerics was owed a favor by the guild, the Mages Guild, who was able to send mages from the university to assist in casting Dispel Magic to prevent a further outbreak in the city.
It was a good practical experience and a very good field trip to Everwatch.
No? Gotta get those educational opportunities somewhere.
There's that one. So there was like, oh, I didn't get my permission slip in time.
There is officially no.
Just slept through the like everyone gathering. He'd been the most excited too.
Yeah, they went
poor
without
guy.
him.
His roommate didn't wake him up.
He looked so peaceful.
Anywho, so there was that. I'm trying to remember what else occurred. Oh, all the stuff about the Lich occurred, right? That was after that.
I remember there being something about, like, I remember this, like, because I didn't watch any stream for videos. There being something about you sending to Christopher and likely having it be the Lich sitting back, and so you acted like the city was going to store its poop.
Yes. I had stepped away to Bromdor to trade spells with Nalia. I have a very useful spell that will allow me to give someone the benefit of a short rest, although it will exhaust me. But while I was away, physically, I don't know what better way to say that I gain a point of exhaustion.
Yeah, no, that tracks. I was just
yeah.
Since it could also have
drain more spell slots or something like that,
or have some effect like wish or something.
Yeah. While I was in Bromdor, everyone else investigated where we assumed the person casting the control weather spell had been, and they encountered a large number of floofs that are now working for the Temple of Arathis, and were able to glean information indicating that the mastermind behind the attack and the creation of those zombies was the grandfather of a cleric that we had, a necromancer that we had killed.
And so is he alive or undead?
He is
He's a
now
lich
a
now.
lich.
Undead.
Okay, just making sure.
And
I wasn't there for this entire thing. I too got poofed.
She did.
yes, Leah spent some time in the Feywild,
Yeah.
and I hope made no additional deals.
Right, she was there. She disappeared like while we were out in the forest.
While you were chasing down the leads toward the necromancer.
Yeah, I think she disappeared before we found the flimps.
I was just having a meeting with Zintharamil and his partners.
So this was just like a patron thing. I haven't become
Yeah.
contagious, have I?
No. Yeah, no. This is a patron thing. Yeah, no. It's not related to you. Though it
Okay.
sounded like it. Sorry.
Speaking of that, I do need to inform Theranethian of your reappearance. He was curious as to what in God's name is going on with you.
God?
Did he see something? Or just because I bugged him a little bit?
He is aware of your condition
Got it.
and is interested in it from a magical perspective, I would assume. I had promised that I would send to him when you were here again, although I will probably save that sending until shortly before finishing a long rest. Or perhaps shortly after finishing my next one, given my number of spells left. What else occurred? Vendar was how would I say that?
Reinitiated.
Welcome back. Granted a new signet, rewritten on the records.
Yes, no, sorry, you're right.
How would I say that?
Reinstated.
Reinstated. Vendar was reinstated in his position.
Yeah, people will trade with me again.
Oh, lovely. I'll look to Vindar and congrats with a nod and whatnot.
So much happens in a day.
Wait, did out of character, was Cyrus around when Laramendas cast his spell?
When Laramendas cast a spell.
No.
I think he
never
disappeared
seen him cast
as
a
we were
special
going
spell.
out to.
Okay.
We were going out to do it, and he disappeared before we
No,
went.
when I was inside doing other things when you guys went out to the field to cast your spell, at least the first time.
Oh, you just
Okay,
didn't
so
come
you
with
you
us.
are aware that I did. Okay, cool. I just
I'm
wanted to make
aware
sure
it
if that was a thing
cast.
that I
I've
needed
never
to.
seen it cast though.
Okay, that's fine. I wanted to say if that was a thing I needed to describe to you that happened, but that would have already happened. You are aware of everything
that
you
was-
learned from that. Cool.
Yeah. I don't think
Um,
it was even pre-zombies. It's the one I'm thinking
was
of.
it?
Because you guys went out, you first got the potpourri type stuff, and then
Yeah,
it
yeah,
came in
yeah,
handy
yeah,
again
yeah,
later
yeah,
did
after
that.
the zombies.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we came back.
Time
in
is
the
an
fog
illusion.
runner.
Especially with illusion magic, that deals through
Time
time.
Good God.
So I, the player, think I have covered everything that happened that Cyrus should be aware of. If I have, am I forgetting anything? Because Laramendas has not forgotten what occurred over the last 24 hours.
I mean, I think the main thing to just go into better detail on is the big discussion that you guys had with Tatsuya and then with Thandro, since he wasn't there for that, and that's sort of informing your current set of decisions.
That's because he had asked about that, and then it was basically like that's the conversation we're about to have.
Yeah.
But it's going to take more than 15 minutes.
Yeah. No, I think
4 minutes and a half.
Yeah, I think you hit everything there. The zombie curse is taken care of and understood now. The reinstatement of Vendar. I don't know. Did Vendar want to talk about his family stuff, or is that not important?
And, I helped my brother. I was able to come up with, me and Jebel were able to come up with a potion that was helping him. It was a recreation of the potion my dad was, that Vendar's father had been giving him. So hopefully able to, get not be so detrimental to his health and whatnot. And that helped him a lot. And then, and that was the main reason why my sister reinstated me. But then I also, we found where Thandros was,
and you saved the city, among other things.
Yeah.
And then you came here.
Do we have any idea where the Grand Lich is?
We know that it is unlikely he is in Sudaran.
Yes, he kept saying he was in Sudaran, so he's almost certainly not in Sudaran.
But what if he figures that that's what we think?
That is true. I think that he thinks that we're dumb.
He did tell us to save poop, am I correct?
Yes, he told us.
Then yes, he thinks we're dumb.
To save the city, to save poop. So yeah, that certainly seems to be where he stands.
Okay.
The Temple of the Raven Queen has been informed of all the information we have regarding him and is doing their own investigation. I think we had asked to be informed if they find anything, but I'm not positive because I was not in that room.
You sure we did?
Right. Well, this has been exhausting and enlightening. I think that's it for my short questions.
Those were the short ones.
I suggest that you write down any other long questions other than so what the fuck are we going to do down in chat so we don't forget about those to address first, if there are any.
I will make a note in my journal. Though I suppose any questions coming from me would be short, depending on how you look at it. Nothing?
There's a faint tish, but not from Laura Mendes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so with that, we're at time. Welcome to 2023. It's gonna be wild.
Alright.
Wild.
Bye.
Wild shape.
Wild shape. Join us next week. Bye, stream.
Bye.
Goodbye.